Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearingly sitting host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
I've been better, Josh. I'm playing injured, and then I saw we just watched the Ohtani Rodriguez game that was much anticipated. Didn't go quite as anticipated.
No. I mean, the Angels didn't beat the Orioles. Ohtani beat the Orioles.
Yeah, I mean, Ohtani let the Orioles in the game, and then Ohtani beat the Orioles.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to give the Orioles credit for scoring 5 on Ohtani. I know we're starting this up like it's a post-game show because we're jumping right into it. But, yeah, the fact that the Orioles scored 5, you got to give them credit for that.
But Ohtani didn't pitch well enough to win, but his offense, led by Ohtani, gave him the win.
Can we talk about the Ohtani home run?
He hit well enough to win.
I know we're jumping right into this, and I'm sure there's like personal, like non-baseball stuff to talk about. And I see there's something going on your face we need to talk about.
Yeah, and I need to get some updates on you going to some jumbo shrimp games.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I went to 3 games last week. So yeah, we got all this. But let's talk about this game a little bit. And I'm sure anyone that's listening, they're either watching live tonight or they're going to catch us in the morning, and they're going to be thinking about last night's game, which we just finished. A game that we knew going into it was going to be tough.
Hey, over 20,000 people for a Monday night game. Good crowd, too.
Yes, great game for a Monday night's normally a 5,000 person crowd.
Yep.
But there still should have been more people there.
Oh, really? I was super impressed. I think if you get 20,000, I think that's the number to shoot for. I think that's a good number.
No, I think it's a great number, especially with the state of the Orioles.
Yeah.
But if you are a big enough Orioles fan that you are listening to this podcast, then I'm irritated that you did not go to that game if you live in Baltimore. Because I wanted to be at that game to see Ohtani versus Grayson Rodriguez. You're talking about the greatest player in baseball. The guy who was the greatest player right before him. And then you're seeing our number one pitching prospect.
I'm surprised Josh didn't come to this podcast wearing his Ohtani jerseys. How much Josh loves Ohtani.
I do love Ohtani. I love the way Ohtani plays the game. I like the way that he plays on both sides.
That's why we're doing our MLB The Show. And if you want to join us in our season, I don't know exactly how it works, but if you want to join us in our season,
we need a few more.
Message Josh, but I picked the Angels because I wanted Ohtani. Did you pick the Orioles?
Yeah, I want to be a homer.
Yeah, lame.
You were irritated that you couldn't pick the Orioles, weren't you?
Yeah, and then I was like, shoot, who should I be? I was debating between the Braves and the Angels.
No, Ohtani is the one to go to.
And I want to be Ohtani, so I went with the Angels. I'm immediately going to trade Ohtani, though.
All right, well, I reach out.
Okay.
Who do you
Jack
want? You want Gunnar? You want Adley? Who do you want?
Yeah. Give me
Grayson and Adley? Do I have
give
to
me
give
Cano and Bautista. Give me Cano and Bautista, and we'll call it good.
I mean, let's talk about some realistic trades because if I was the Orioles, I would do anything to get Ohtani on my team next year. That home run that he hit,
457 feet. Yeah, it hit the gate by Boogs.
I do not remember seeing a ball before that's gone in that area and went over the crowd like that.
Yeah, no, I mean that was as hard of a hit ball as you'll ever see in your life.
Right. I don't know the measurements and the distance, but if that goes down right field line, that gets close to the warehouse, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm curious. If you go right down left field, where's the warehouse feet-wise?
Well, it's down right field. If you go down left field,
right field. Yeah,
hit the warehouse.
Right field. But it can't be much further than 457 feet, right?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and the thing that also, if you look at someone and listen, we know a thing or two about seeing massive home runs being Orioles fans.
It's
We've seen a lot of people hit massive home runs.
right
Yeah.
down the line to the warehouse is 439 feet.
Oh yeah, so he hits it if he pulls it.
Yeah. Oh, if Ohtani was in the AL East, Ohtani would hit the warehouse.
Yeah, it's wild though that no one's ever. We don't talk about this enough. That no one's ever hit it.
It's so weird. It doesn't make any sense.
I remember Randy Mulligan. We were debating Sam Horn. We were debating who was going to be the first person. As if that's going to be a common occurrence hitting the warehouse, then no one does it. One guy does it on a bounce in the All-Star game, but no one does it.
It wasn't on a bounce.
I know. I'm diminishing Ken Griffey Jr.
I was going to say guys have hit it on a bounce.
Yeah,
but
Josh, the crazy thing too is like Aaron Judge. We see Aaron Judge hit home runs, but Aaron Judge is like this huge guy. Ohtani's like 6'4", skinny, like 200 pounds, a skinny dude, and somehow he's able to generate so much power. It's incredible to watch.
Yeah, no, it was impressive. But what really stood out to me about the Ohtani thing later is something that you and I have been talking about recently. What do you do when you catch an opponent home run ball?
Yeah.
Did you see what happened?
I didn't not with the Ohtani, but not with the Ohtani ball. Did it happen with the Ohtani ball?
The Ohtani ball was thrown back.
There was a ball thrown back in the fourth inning.
No,
that landed in the first row that was thrown back, and I was so happy to see that in the fourth inning. It made me so happy. I missed the Ohtani ball being thrown back.
The Ohtani ball was thrown back.
Oh,
Andy Koska of the Baltimore Banner went out to find the guy that threw it back.
Oh, I love
interviewed
him.
He interviewed him. And
well, Josh, that's multiple because I saw the one the fourth inning thrown back. So that was at least
awesome.
Two that were thrown back.
That's great. The guy said he happened to pick the ball up off the ground, and then everyone started cheering, throw it back. So he got hyped up with the crowd, and he threw it back. And
that's how it's supposed to work.
He said it was awesome for 30 seconds, and then I immediately regretted it, which I love. I love that.
Yeah, that's an Ohtani home run. That's 457 feet. I don't know about that one.
Right.
But
exactly.
I'm with him in spirit. You throw the ball back because it's not your team.
Jeter, Judge, I'm throwing it back. I would hope that Ohtani, I'm smart enough to pocket.
Yeah,
but I love that the crowd hyped him up. So, like, if he wasn't going to do that, the crowd's going to boo him at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I still say that that's a memory of a lifetime. And if you kept the ball, what are you doing with the ball? It's going to go up in, a little shelf, and you're going to tell people that Ohtani hit that ball. I think the better memory is chucking it back on the field.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a better memory.
Yeah, who cares about the ball?
I guess. I don't know. I just love that. I love that the guy immediately regretted it.
I love we talked about it, and then I felt like it was a thing that went away, but it was not a thing that has gone away because I saw it twice today.
And it was a thing that
it restored all my faith in Oriole fandom, seeing balls chucked back on the field.
And I don't see it in other stadiums. So I don't know if it's a Baltimore thing.
Josh, how many games do you watch of other teams?
No. But I've seen Orioles hit home runs in Tropicana.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In Yankee Stadium, and I never see them thrown back.
Yeah.
So it can't be just a Baltimore thing, but I love that Ohtani's ball got thrown back.
So did you see who caught Cedric Mullins' home run?
Who? Please don't say it was the ball hawk guy.
It was the ball hawk guy.
Was it
the guy who was he was wearing a shirt with like a target on his shirt? He's just there to catch home run. But Zach Imple or something, or Dimple, I don't know what his name is. But everyone was a little upset, annoyed that he was the one who caught Cedric Mullins' home run. But
all right,
and I will agree with the annoyance.
Now, a few years ago, over on SB Nation, Grant Brisbee wrote an article saying that throwing back the opponent home run ball is one of the important unwritten rules of baseball.
I 100% agree.
I totally agree too.
100% agree.
I totally agree. And you're right.
Because it's not just throwing the ball. What you're saying is this ball to me is worthless. It doesn't even exist to me. I'd rather not have it. This is a valuable thing that's worth nothing to me.
Never mind. His article says it's stupid and you should just give it to a kid. But no, you throw it back. You stick with the unwritten rule.
I'm telling you right now, if I give it to my son Silas, he's going to take it and he's going to throw it on the field.
Yes.
Because I raised him right. So, yeah, I'll give it to a kid, and that kid is going to throw it on the field.
I don't understand the hatred.
If he wants a baseball, I'll go to the team store and buy him a baseball. It's not a big deal. But I don't want that baseball.
Here's another article from 2011 on ESPN saying don't throw that home run ball back. You clearly throw the home run ball back. Why are there all these articles?
I don't know. Because you want it to go on your Instagram or something. I'd rather have someone give me a video of me throwing the ball back than have a video of me keeping a ball.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
You throw it back. I think it started in Chicago, from what I can tell. But yeah, you got to throw it back.
But going back to the Ohtani thing, it is interesting how, Josh, you're enamored. I don't want to say obsessed, in love with Ohtani, though I think those words could describe it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, impressed. Yeah, sure. That's one way to put it. But you weren't the only one. Kevin Brown, from the start of the broadcast, was just gushing about Ohtani.
Well, would you rather him gush over Ohtani or Mr. Splash?
Ohtani. Well, we can get to the bird bath later. Yeah. But I get he is doing something that no one else is doing. I remember when he first made his appearance as a two-way player, and people thought, oh, there are other two-way players. There hasn't been anyone else. There hasn't been anyone else to do the two-way playing successfully. And he's better than everybody else at both of them. It's incredible to me how you have all of these players who are majorly the best players in the world, players who have made it through single A, double A, triple A, players who are the best in the universe. And this dude Ohtani is better than all of them, pretty much, at hitting and pitching. It just blows my mind how good Ohtani is.
Yeah, I mean, Ohtani's incredible. And, yeah, to do that, I mean, he almost got the cycle tonight.
Yeah. And again, when this stuff happens, you have to go back to the 1800s to find that the latest guy who pitched and hit for the cycle.
Yep.
Wow.
Did you have any problem with Grayson Rodriguez's performance tonight?
I had a lot of problems. He stunk. He was terrible. He was atrocious. He cost us the game. We lost because of him.
He seems to get the most strikeouts, but it seems like he also gets hammered, and it's some of the hardest hit balls when they do make contact.
Yeah, I mean, you can just watch him. Just watch where, and we talked about this before. Watch where when he struggles, watch where Adley Rutschman puts the glove, and watch where the ball ends up. And it's usually when he struggles, the ball does not end up anywhere near where Adley Rutschman's calling for the ball. It's not hard. His stuff is still great. He's throwing upper 90s. His changeup was good. But yeah, I mean, he's just missing his spots. And it seems like when Grayson goes bad, he goes bad big time. I mean, this is not the first time that he struggled. If you kind of look at his line, the last two starts, he was really good, right? He was good against Tampa Bay. Or I guess he struggled against Kansas City. And then before that, he was really good against Detroit 2 times, where he gave up no runs in 2 outings. But then he got beat up at Kansas City, where he gave up 6 runs in 3 2/3. Then he was good against Tampa Bay. And then he got beat up again here with the Angels, where he pitched 3 1/3 and gave up 8 runs. And listen, the Angels are a fine offense, but they're not a great offense. The Orioles are a bad offense. And so he kind of got shellacked 2 of his last 3 starts against not very good offenses. So part of this is learning struggles. I get it. You're still figuring out how to pitch. But also, like, we're trying to win games now. And when you hit 3 home runs against Ohtani, that's probably a game you should win.
Yeah.
And so we didn't win this game.
But this was right. And I think you can lean on the fact that we kind of chalked this up as this would probably be a loss facing Ohtani, but we scored 5 runs on him. So
3 dongs.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to gamble anymore too, because going into this game, and I haven't gambled all year, but I was thinking to myself, there was a couple games this year where I'm thinking this is a can't miss bet. When like Dean Kramer was going up against Max Fried, I was like, that's a can't miss bet. The Braves are going to win that game over a run and a half, and yet the Orioles won that game. And this one, I'm like, hammer the under. Ohtani Rodriguez, this is going to be a pitching duel. The Orioles offense is struggling. Rodriguez, it's going to be pumped for the Ohtani.
Right, and it's 14 runs.
14 runs. I don't know what the over-under was, but it was probably like 6.
Exactly, yeah. It was definitely had to hit the over.
Yeah.
So.
Just kind of wild.
Yeah.
But a rough start to the series, but we're coming off, before that, where we've won the past 2 series against good teams, against a
Yeah.
great team and against a good team. So we're still looking pretty in the month of May.
No, month of May is still looking okay. Still looking fine considering how tough we said May was going to be. And where are we? We're 26 and 15. There's
Yeah.
no need to panic.
Yeah. And I said it before, it's going to come down to, it's no mystery. And we saw it today. It's no mystery about this team. If we're going to be successful, it's going to come down to our starting pitching. And in the month of May, Dean Kramer has been great. Kyle Bradish has been good. Tyler Wells has been great. And if Dean Kramer and Tyler Wells continue to be great, and Kyle Bradish continues to be good, and we get something out of Grayson and Kyle, then we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So I mean,
right.
that's the thing to watch for.
No, we've got 3 more games against the Angels, and those 3 guys you mentioned are the matchups. So we're putting good pitching on the mound for the rest of this Angel series, a 4-game series. That hey, if we can split, wonderful. If we can take 3 out of 4, that's outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough good things about how good Tyler Wells has been all year. He's been Mr. Consistent, our best pitcher the entire year. Who had that? Tyler Wells. And the last 2 starts for Dean Kramer have been great. I mean, he pitched 6 innings against Atlanta, only gave up 1 run. And then he was magnificent against the Rays, 6 innings and 0 runs. So he's coming off, 2 starts where he's only given up 1 run against 2 good offenses. So if that continues, I mean, that bodes really well because Dean Kramer was struggling at the beginning of the season. So to me, I mean, and we can get into it and we can debate all day about Kyle Stowers and talk about should Colton Cowser be here and all that stuff. But to me, that's kind of on the edges. What the main storyline this year is going to be, are we going to get enough out of our starting pitchers?
Yeah.
And so far, May we have.
And the storyline going into May is May is tough. That it gets incredibly hard, and we'll see what this team is made of in May. We're 13 games into May, and we are 7-6.
Yeah, it's great.
That's great. We're above 500. I'll take it. And we got 3 more with the Angels, Toronto, New York, Texas, and Cleveland.
So it doesn't get
really
easier.
Slow down. No.
Doesn't get easier. So we're shooting for 500 in the month of May. That's the goal, and right now we're headed for it. So that's good. You hope you can take. I mean, the Angels are like the worst of that squad. Though watching tonight's game, seeing Ohtani and Trout, and just watching the whole offense, it just shocks me.
Rondon's out of there.
Yeah, it just shocks me that this team with Ohtani hasn't made World Series appearances, let alone they haven't even made the playoffs with Ohtani and Trout. So it's it boggles my mind.
Even this year, they've only got 22 wins and they're in 3rd place.
Yeah. They're what, 2 games over 500? It just I don't understand it.
22 and 20. I don't get it either because it's the same thing what we always said with Trout. You have the best player in baseball and you can't win. Now you've got the top 2 players in baseball and you can't win.
Yeah, it's like you got the top 2 offensive players in baseball. You got the top pitcher in baseball. You just need to fill in the gaps. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, this is going to be the storyline going forward. This is going to be around the All-Star break. The entire storyline is going to be, will the Angels keep Ohtani? And if they don't, where is Ohtani going?
And what's it going to take to give Ohtani?
Yeah.
Because he's a game changer.
Yep.
Like that, we talk about the Orioles scored. Yeah, the Orioles scored 5 runs in Ohtani. But how many runs did Ohtani score for this team?
Yeah.
It was a 3-run homer, and he got on base 4 other times.
We got a triple, a single, a walk. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, everything but a double. 2 singles, a triple, a home run, and a walk.
Yeah.
So this guy scored more runs than your entire team.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before, but like you could trade for the top hitter available or trade for the top pitcher available. What will it take to get the top hitter available and then another trade get the top pitcher available? Or we do one trade and get both. Yeah.
Exactly. Just give it all up.
What would cost more? To do 2 separate trades for the top hitter and top pitcher or 1 trade for one guy? Probably about the same, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. But hey, the Orioles, if you're looking at prospects, the Orioles have an opportunity.
Yeah. All right, well let's get to a couple of notes I want to get to real quick here. One is Josh, your thoughts. Kyle Stowers, I think he appeared in like 13 games. It seems like a week ago, everyone's saying Kyle Stowers needs to play more. You're treating Kyle Stowers unfairly. Give Kyle Stowers more playing time. And then after a week, everyone's like,
stinks.
Send Kyle Stowers down. What's he doing here? Get him out of here. He's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, the difference a week makes. What are your thoughts on Kyle Stowers being sent down? He played in 14 games, only had 33 plate appearances.
I mean, he wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing it. Send him down to AAA, let him get some more playing time, and when he's hot, bring him up. That's what they tried to do now. But if you're not going to play him, he seems like the type of player that needs to play every day. I think we saw McKenna struggle. Then once he started getting more playing time, McKenna has been impressive lately and has played all right. I haven't seen that out of Stowers. What I don't understand, if we're talking prospects and we're talking outfielders, what I don't understand is Colton Cowser. Like, Colton Cowser needs to be up in the big leagues now. I saw him on, was it Wednesday I saw him where he hit first 2 at-bats were home runs. He crushed it, got 2 home runs. Right now, Cowser has had more plate appearances with Norfolk than Adley Rutschman or Gunnar Henderson, and his numbers at Norfolk are better than both of them were. Colton Cowser should be up here right now with the team.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about how much they like, and by the way, the numbers for Colton Cowser.
We've had Varvra in right field tonight.
Yeah. Colton Cowser's batting .336, an OPS over 1,000 down there at AAA. They just updated the prospect rankings, MLB prospect rankings. Jackson Holliday jumped ahead of Grayson Rodriguez for number 1 on the team. Good for Jackson Holliday.
Yep.
And Colton Cowser is number 3. So people who like Joey Ortiz, people who like Heston Kjerstad, people like Jordan Westberg, according to the prospect rankings, Colton Cowser is ahead of all of them.
Yeah.
So it's not just that he's having a good year. I mean, this has been coming on for a while. He had a great year last year.
Kept moving up.
He's a highly respected prospect.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess he's probably not on the 40-man, and that's the holdup.
Yeah.
But when you talk about this team and when we talk about how we love how Elias is making moves every day to win tonight, Colton Cowser should have been in right field. Now, making your first major league appearance against Shohei Ohtani is intimidating. At least I would think it is.
Yeah, I mean, but the on-base percentage is .477. I mean, it's kind of silly. He's got 8 doubles, already has 7 home runs this year.
He's got nothing to prove.
It's impossible for him to play better. It's literally impossible for him to play any better. The only thing you worry about is Vavra is not an everyday player. Can you play Cowser every day? And what does that mean? Does that mean Santander is playing more first base? Does that mean, or DH? Does that mean, like, how are you making room for Colton Cowser? If he's playing, if Santander, you want to get him in the outfield? Does Hayes have to sit? Like, where are you getting playing time?
Yeah, it means sitting Hayes. It means DHing out of your outfield. Yeah. It means letting Santander DH. It's let him play first base and let Mountcastle DH some. It's playing with that DH spot to get more guys in. And it's looking at some of these other guys that are not part of the future and saying, thanks for what you did this couple months. But I want McKenna on the bench for speed in late innings. But I don't know. You might have to part with a guy like Varvra.
Yeah, I think the guy to go is not Vavra. I don't know, like hating on Vavra. I think the guy to go is Ryan O'Hearn. If Santander can play first base,
I forgot Ryan O'Hearn. You're right.
If Santander can play first base, then why do you need Ryan O'Hearn anymore? He seems kind of obsolete to me. So,
the only signing of a position player that I feel that you did this offseason that has brought value is McCann, because you needed a backup catcher, and then Adam Frazier. I have been impressed with Adam Frazier. Other than that, all the other guys you brought in to fill holes, we got to start looking about those holes and be like, hey, if we don't need a filler anymore, we've got Colton here ready to go.
Well, and you could argue, like, I like Adam Frazier too. Got the home run tonight. Like, I'm a fan. And it's funny, when he hit the home run, he was the first one to get a home run off Ohtani. and like the fans were excited, but you could also tell like the fans were just so surprised. Like, we were not expecting Adam
Right.
Frazier to come up here and hit a home run off Otani. This
But
is
he's
not
had
how
a
we
few
thought it would
this year.
go.
He's already got more than he had last year.
Yeah, he's got that sneaky pop. But the argument against that, Josh, is you could also easily argue that Ortiz, a combination of Ortiz or Vavra or even Jordan Westberg, could be giving you just as much production at second base that
True.
you're seeing in Adam Frazier.
Well, and that's balancing out. You sign these guys to fill holes so that people could work their way out in AAA. Well, now we've got guys who have played themselves out of AAA, and you have to decide how to fit them on this roster. And it means some of these placeholders you're going to have to get rid of. And it's a balance of, does delaying Kowser from coming up so that you can show off Vavra a little more, so you can show off O'Hearn a little bit more to try to trade him for anything worth it? Or is it just time to say goodbye? Another team will grab you because you're okay. We just can't hold you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Orioles are trying to trade O'Hearn. I don't think they're trying to trade Vavra. I don't think that's why they're playing. I think they're in
because
we're beyond.
Didn't think these guys would be ready yet.
Right, we're beyond showcase mode here. The only reason they're playing is because they think you're right. The guys at AAA are not ready or still have to work on something.
But tell me what Kowser still has to work on.
I'm not Mike Elias. I'm not Sigma.
He should be up here tomorrow.
I'm not Matt
Mike was
Blood.
a little busy watching Otani and wishing he had Otani tonight. Noticed that him and Sigmaidel were both at the game tonight to check out Otani. But, yeah, you got to get Kowser up. He needs to be on this plane.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the corresponding move for me is, I mentioned the Ryan O'Hearn. That seems like a simple solution. But then the corresponding move is, well, that opens up a spot in AAA. Oh, who's the hottest player in the minors outside of Colton Kowser? A guy named Heston Kjerstad.
Oh, Heston Kjerstad. Yeah, bring him up. You're right.
Who is ready to go up to AAA now, I believe. He was 24. He's older.
Yeah.
And he's ready to go to AAA.
So hot that, yeah, we could end this season with both those guys up in the majors.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, yeah, it should be interesting and fun. And that's something I think about too when we mentioned about the trade deadline. And I know we're far off that, but then I was thinking about this the other day. Like, on the one hand, I think the Orioles are going to be active in the trade market because they have to be. They have too many pieces. Or like it would just make sense to deal and make a trade to upgrade.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think like offensively, are you going to find someone in the trade market that's better than Colton Kowser? Like that, I don't know if you'll find someone better than Colton Kowser for your outfield.
No.
I don't know if you find someone better than Jordan Westbrook for your infield. So it's like,
no, it's pitching. It's pitching what you're going to look
for. It's a starting pitcher. Yeah, I think it's going to be a starting pitcher.
Like Otani.
Wow. Or
yeah. Or
who's the guy? Else. The guy from the Brewers have a couple starters over there. We can take that guy who pitched for the Pirates. What was it, Mitch Keller or something? Can the Pirates continue to lose games, and can Mitch Keller be available? Because that guy was like 14 strikeouts. Yeah. He was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing I want to mention, just one more thing before I forget, about the Otani thing. Yep. And this has been going on all year, and so it's not an Otani thing, but like Otani is just the most obvious with Otani because he talked about it so much. Josh, the sweeper. Everyone's throwing the sweeper. The sweeper didn't exist a year ago. Now Otani throws it 100%, 60% of the time. Everybody's throwing the sweeper. Why have we?
Difference?
It's a slider. Why have we?
Isn't it just a slider?
Yes, Otani throws no sliders, but all sweepers. We called that a slider last year. I don't know what happened, but we changed the word from slider to sweeper. Now no one throws a slider anymore, and everyone throws a sweeper. And I don't understand what has happened. I feel a little bit bamboozled that someone had a meeting and decided to call the slider a sweeper now, and no one told me.
All right. Well, a sweeper is a horizontal slider. So it has less downward movement than a slurve, but it still moves up and down like horizontal. Moves
okay,
down.
If it moves up and down, it's a curveball. Yeah.
No, that would be a curve. And then a slurve would be a sliding curveball. So a sweeper is a horizontal slider. It's meant to look like a fastball to the pitcher, to the batter.
Okay, but last year it was a slider. Last year, that pitch was a slider, and now it's a sweeper.
A sweeper, here's another thing from the New York Times. The sweeper.
What does New York Times knows about baseball? They still do
is,
M.L.B.
but here's the article. The article headline is a newish pitch on the block. So they're also omitting this. So they said, what's the difference between the sweeper? The sweeper moves side to side.
That's a slider.
But it does not plunge downward like a slider would or a curveball.
You just said the opposite in those two definitions. You said the other one was horizontal. This one's saying it's horizontal.
No, because I'm an idiot, and horizontal is left and right. Vertical would be up.
Oh yeah,
vertical
vertical up and down. Yeah.
So I said the same thing. I just had the word horizontal wrong.
Right. So a slider has always been horizontal.
Yeah, but a slider drops also. A slider comes in at an angle. It goes, it goes like this.
Right. I mean,
I guess.
But Josh, you have different curve. Like you have tight curveballs, and then you have big sweeping curveballs. But we don't call different curveballs different things based on how much they drop.
You have the slurve and a curveball.
All right, whatever. I don't want to get all thing. I just think we're making stuff up here.
Plus, you have a sweeping curveball.
Yeah, we acknowledge a pitch could look a bunch of different ways. You could have a slider that does a little bit different. 10 guys go slider, and every slider does something slightly different. I get that, but I thought we came up with this terminology: slider, curveball, fastball, that we can group all this stuff into. Now, all of a sudden, we can't just say slider, we have to say sweeper.
Well, what if all right, there's two things going on here. One, all right, there might be a little difference because the slider doesn't move down as much as a normal slider. But the big thing going is sports broadcasters love names. So if they can come up with sweeper, it's going to get trendy to call everything a sweeper.
Are you telling me no one threw the sweeper 3 years ago?
Garrett Cole had his gyro. That's probably the closest thing.
Okay, you talk like you're an expert on who's throwing this. I bet a bunch of people were throwing what we now call a sweeper. 3 years ago, we just called it a slider.
Let's see, who throws a sweeper?
Ohtani throws it
Ohtani
all the time.
Throws the best, apparently.
Sometimes down the middle because we were crushing some. He left a couple sweepers down the middle. I think all our home runs maybe were off sweepers.
All right.
But anyway,
I'm not seeing.
All right, we can let it go. A couple other notes I want to get to. Adley Rutschman has now, as of yesterday, Josh, played in 162 games for the Orioles.
Well,
or has been on the team for 162
What's the Orioles record for that 162 games?
Take a guess.
I would go with 162.
93 and 69.
I'll take it. That gets you in the playoffs.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby. It's interesting. I feel like, we haven't done anything in free agency. We haven't done anything big time in trades. So it's like this team is interesting how Adley was kind of the thing that turned it around. But it wasn't like we also brought in these top free agents. It's just been some of these young players coming up and kind of growing up and finding some kind of amazing bullpen arms. And it's just interesting how we got here. But without spending any money or making any big trades. But props to Adley, not 93 and 69. I mean, that's a playoff team right there.
No, and it's right. We point to Adley because that's a key part, but really it's just the sign of it's like that's when it clicked. And I was like, all right, there's liftoff. You want to talk about liftoff? Adley was the fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Other note I want to mention, Josh, I know you have some thoughts on this. Bird bath. The Orioles unveiled their bird bath, Mr. Splash. He's got a hose out there. He's squirting people down. Was it Section 86, Section 87? It's one of those
Section
sections.
86.
All right, $20. It seems to be sold out ever since they announced it.
They sold 2,000 tickets in like the first 48 hours.
That's good marketing. Cole Irvin, you know what you're doing. Someone get Cole Irvin on the PR team and give him a raise.
Oh, I spoke to Cole Irvin.
Josh. Yeah.
I spoke to Cole Irvin this week when I saw him down in Norfolk.
Oh, about the bird bath?
About the bird bath.
Nice. What did he say?
He says that it's nice that some of the articles are giving him credit for it, but that he doesn't really care about credit. He's just glad the fans are having fun and that they're getting involved in the team. So
Yeah, no,
a little political correct answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about credit. It's cool. It must be cool for him to see something, an idea he had, and it actually work out and be.
Yeah,
It seems to be pretty successful so far, and
yeah.
it seems like they have some options to make it even better.
Right. The only thing annoying about it is Kevin Brown.
Yeah, he's a little too into it, maybe.
The Orioles are really pushing it on the TV broadcasts.
Yeah.
Where
the first time they had the bird bath, it was a little bit ridiculous. It was cutting there like every 5 minutes. It's cutting to the yeah.
But no, it's fun. We always talk about how the Orioles need to do. For years, we've talked about the Orioles PR and how the Orioles do a horrible job engaging with their fans. And this is a spot on. This is what they needed to do. This is a great thing. We talked about this. I shared on Twitter that we talked about this a month ago and got attacked about it because whatever. Not getting into it. But, there's other podcasts that want to take credit for everything when we talked about it a month ago.
What, podcast war? Let's go, Josh. The podcast war?
No. Because some sites have fans that are a little obsessed and will go and attack you. So we'll leave it alone.
No, and I'm glad other people take credit sometimes because I think about this. Like, there's some people who do the Orioles thing. Like, think of our friend, Eric RDT. Who's a friend of ours forever.
Yeah.
And like he is, I don't know. I don't know his financial situation. I don't know if he gets paid, how much he makes, but like he is 100% like invested and like does this. It's more than a hobby, right?
It is his full-time job.
Is it a full-time job? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. He writes for Barstool Sports.
Okay. But I don't know if he did other stuff on the side to make ends meet, but like some people are like we're like this is a hobby. It's a little more than a hobby for you with Birdland Sports and the T-shirts.
Right. But either
for
way,
me, this is very much like I have no desire to break news because I'm not trying to increase my credibility and do these things that a full-time employee, working for the Orioles are. So I'm okay with giving credit to guys who are out there grinding every day.
Yeah.
To try to make a career out of this.
And we love RDT because he's a fan, just like us. He's doing
absolutely.
It not as a job. He's doing it as a passion like we do.
That's absolutely true, yes.
So things blew up on Twitter a little bit, but RDT and I talked outside privately about it, and we were both on the same page with this whole thing with Bird Bath. Twitter just went a little crazy because people are crazy.
Well, and it's my issue, and this is why I stay off Twitter a lot too, is because with like most things, like it warrants a conversation. It's hard to explain yourself in just these characters that are randomly seen. And it's like, I like this format, the podcast format, to engage about things like the bird bath, as opposed to a thread on Twitter where no one understands kind of the background, the context, or the nuance.
But the point is, Orioles PR is doing some good stuff.
Absolutely.
And the bird bath is one
$20 is a great deal too.
Yeah. And they did cheap bleacher seats. They're doing certain nights with
they did the Cedric Mullins cycle 50% off tickets.
Yeah.
You see that?
Did you see? I did see that. Did you see the Cedric Mullins kid was at the game tonight?
Yeah.
From Twitch. I can't get away from that Cedric Mullins or whatever guy.
Well, because I saw the video of whatever that guy catching Cedric Mullins home run.
Yeah.
And someone went up to him, said, that ball hawk, and someone said, "Hey, listen, you should give to that guy." And the ball hawk was like, he said no. he said no, it's my ball.
No, that
they were like, you should give the Cedric Mullins his biggest fan or whatever. And he was like, well, now I'm Cedric Mullins' biggest fan or something.
All right. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, you used to see that video. It's really obnoxious. So. But yeah, you can't escape him. And Cedric Mullins had 2 diving catches today and a home run. Cedric Mullins, we probably don't talk enough about how good Cedric Mullins is.
And his defense has been outstanding this year. This week, he's had highlight after highlight.
If he doesn't win a Gold Glove this year, I'm never watching another baseball game.
Let's not put it out there. But yeah, he deserves a Gold Glove, definitely.
Yeah, but a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of you're missing out on this bird bath. I mean, after the first night where they did it and Mullins hit the cycle, the next day, Silas came in my room because he always watches the condensed games before I wake up, and he always comes and wakes me up and talks about the condensed games. And he came up and told me about, and all he was talking about, not about the cycle, all he was talking about was the bird bath and how they were shooting water in the stands. And that's what it's about, right? The kids love it. It's fun. I was excited. So what about the cycle? And then he didn't know what's a cycle. I had to explain it to him. But he was all about the bird bath. So
no, and that's what we want.
Cool.
The bird bath is engaging people that normally wouldn't go. I do have a little concerns about the bird bath because they're doing it every night. I felt like it should have just been a weekend thing because I'm really afraid of the bird bath in, like, I don't know, July if the Orioles struggle and there's 10 people in the bird bath and Mr. Splash is out there with 10 people. I got some hesitance and concerns about that.
Well, I mean, the deal is they want more ticket sales during the week. I mean, the weekend series was good attendance. They want more ticket sales during the week.
Mother's Day I saw was a sellout.
No, what? No way.
Yeah, that's what I saw people complaining about.
People complaining about?
Yeah. Let me see what the actual attendance was for Mother's Day.
I saw Friday, I think it was like 25,000, and it felt like a really loud, good crowd. But no, I think Silas said he wants to go to a bird bath game. He wants to sit in that section. I think it's just one. I like that they just do one section. I think they're gonna be able to sell out that one section pretty easily throughout the summer.
Yeah, that's true. 36,000 people there for Sunday's game.
Wow, that's a huge crowd.
Yeah, I know. For a Mother's Day, like that's what the difference is with the Orioles. Is the Orioles are playing well enough that you can have a casual conversation of, "Hey, Mom, how about we all go? How about the family goes to the Camden Yards?"
Yeah,
because the weather's nice, the team's winning, it's fun to be around.
Well, and I was playing softball today here in Macon, Georgia, and a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I saw that bird bath. What do you think about the bird bath?" even in Macon talking about the bird bath, and then we got in a conversation about the Orioles here. But yeah, I mean the Orioles are talk worthy. That's for sure.
Yeah, they totally are. Number 4 this week on the MLB Power Rankings, which is outstanding because people hate the Orioles. So if you're putting them as number 4, they're really number 2, but you got to knock them down.
Yeah, the entire world hates the Orioles. So led by Buster Olney. So
exactly.
Buster Olney saw that number 4. He probably threw his phone across the room. Number 4.
That's your Buster Olney impersonation.
I'm gonna go milk some cows.
Right. Yeah.
In my home in Montana.
He lives in Montana, right out in the middle of nowhere. And the problem is, if you heard Buster Olney, do you ever listen to Buster Olney podcast? You still listen to it, right?
Yeah. Not every day, but almost every day.
I understand that Buster Olney does his podcast from airports and stuff, and I get that.
Yeah.
Why is the audio so bad? Why does it sound like he's calling in from a flip phone from 10 years ago every time to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just you can tell with the airport because he's legitimately whispers the entire episode.
And why are you whispering? You're Buster Olney.
It's the interview. I know. You can't get a room.
You can't. Every airport has these little office suites you can rent now.
Yeah.
ESPN will pay it, but forget that. Go into a corner and start screaming and yelling. People will come around and watch. I'd watch the Buster Olney podcast live in BWI.
Yeah. Yeah, it always makes me laugh. But Josh, how was you mentioned seeing Colton Cowser hit some bombs.
Yeah.
How was your experience? You talked to Cole Irvin. How was your experience with the watching the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp?
I had a great time. I went on Wednesday and it was a day game. And I tricked work into saying, "Hey, let me take the sales staff out as a good time out on the field or out to the game, kind of get along, have our sales meeting there." So we did that. And the Jumbo Shrimp people are great. The PR is great. They give me a press pass for all their games, so I can go as Section 336 Birdland Sports. Love that, free parking, everything, and so nothing to say bad about Jumbo Shrimp. Great organization. And then and the stadium's nice. As far as minor league stadiums, it's a great stadium. So first game, I see Cowser hit his 2 home runs. DL Hall pitches outstanding. They lose 3-2 or something. And Anyway, late in that game, I go down to the bullpen. I don't know a lot of the guys on the bullpen. They're hard. Bullpen guys are hard to recognize, especially when it's AAA guys you don't see all the time.
Sure,
So
yeah.
I go down there, but I recognize Nick Vespi. So I've had some interactions.
His face
online.
has been on lots of your T-shirts. Sure, you remember that face.
And he's got the hair and everything, and I've had some conversations with Vespi. He's one of the guys I sent shirts to down in Sarasota. So I go down and talk to Vespi for like 2 innings and have a good conversation. And I say, you know what? I said, tomorrow I'm just going to bring T-shirts for the entire team. I've got a bunch of T-shirts at home. I'm just going to throw 30 large and extra large T-shirts in a bag, and I'm going to bring the other teams. And Nick says, that'd be outstanding. Everyone would love that. So I said, all right, I'll hit you up. So I'm texting with Vespi the next day. This is Thursday. Mm-hmm. And I text him, and he says, yeah, let's meet at 6 o'clock. I'll meet you on the side door, and I'll take him in because they won't let me take a big bag into the stadium.
Okay.
So I'm driving to the stadium, and this is like 5 o'clock, 5:30. I get Vespi texts me and says, hey, you're going to have to meet Zimmerman instead. Trust me. Just Bruce will come out. Bruce
local
will meet you
kid.
At 6:15.
Yeah,
so local kid. I haven't met Bruce Zimmerman, so it was good to meet him. But it got me thinking immediately, hey, why can't Vespi meet me? And so I texted him.
Of course, we know now, but yeah.
I said, all right. I said, by any chance are you heading to the BWI? Or I had said heading to JX. And he didn't respond until the next day. And then he said, responded with a thank you. Couldn't say anything last night.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Anyway, I met Bruce Zimmerman, gave him the shirts. And then I go to watch the game. I take Kelly to this game Thursday night and come out. And first thing I notice is some of the player development coaches are coming out wearing my shirts.
Oh, that's cool.
Like out on the field. So that was a cool experience
cool.
to see
that's cool.
them wearing Birdland shirts.
Yeah.
So then I don't do any. I watch the game. I enjoy the game. I only stay maybe 6 innings.
Hey, by the way, not to interrupt you, but did you see on the broadcast, I forget who hit the home run, but they did a shot at the homer hose. So someone had a mini homer hose, and it looked just like yours. I assume it was yours.
All right, people have been sending me photos of their homer hoses that they're taking to the stadiums.
Yeah, no, so this was
that
one.
Tonight?
I'm almost certain it was one of your homer hoses. I don't know if there's other knockoffs
tonight?
out there. At tonight's game after one of Orioles home runs.
I've mailed out enough that I had to go buy more parts at Home Depot yesterday to make more.
Yeah, and it was a good live action shot of them drinking from the homer hose after the home run.
My homer hose fits perfectly in the clear plastic bag that you're allowed to take in, by the way.
Nice.
Getting good praise. All right, I got to find that. That's great. It probably is one of mine. All right, so anyway, I deliver the shirts, hang out, take off, come back the next day, and the Friday night, and I'm taking Emma and Camden to the game this time. And so I got some tickets, and I got them right down by the dugout. So as soon as I get there, it's early, everyone's stretching, warming up. I see another guy on the field wearing one of my shirts.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, that's cool. I didn't recognize the guy, but he's wearing one of my shirts. The dugout, the players from the dugout come out, or all the backup pitchers all come out. And while they're walking to their seats, one of them points to me and says, hey, you're the guy from Birdland Sports.
Oh, nice.
And I said, yes, I am. And Emma was extremely impressed. Like, you know how the kids get impressed when someone from Section 336 comes up and says, hi, a listener. Well, here I had a player who knew who I was, and Emma was very impressed. So that was cool as a dad.
That's cool, yeah.
I then had DL Hall's dad sit next to me for the game.
DL Hall is Houston County, right here in my backyard.
Right. So he made the trip down for a few days. So that day, I met a few of the pitchers. I met DL Hall. I met his dad. I met his brother. I met the two friends that were from that video that they made at the beginning of the season. So I saw. So that was a cool experience to see some of those young guys and talk to some of those, and starting to build those relationships for Birdland Sports.
Yeah, that's the thing about minor league games is you can get interaction with players that are unlike anything else. Like, it's just a different world, a different environment where you can interact with players on a much more personal level, whether through T-shirts or just through autographs or whatever. They're so approachable in the minors.
I didn't ask for any autographs because I'm trying to do the business relationship thing, but
Yeah.
they were completely accessible for autographs. I did get a ball. The ball was during batting practice was knocked out of the stadium while we were walking up to the stadium. So that's the
Okay.
other cool thing about this minor league park is the balls they hit them out of the stadium and like into the street, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend always going to a minor league game. Saw great. Saw DL Hall pitch great. I saw Cole Irvin pitch outstanding.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he
putting
should be in
together
the
now. He's had a
majors.
couple good starts. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Colton Cowser's unbelievable. Westbrook had a good couple games while I was there, so it was fun to see.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right. I want to ask you about that.
Yeah. All right, now what's going on with your mustache? You know, a lot of the guys in the bullpen had a mustache. Now you've shaved down to a mustache. Is this a permanent thing, or is this a? Is this the thing?
No, I'm trying it out. I don't know if it's permanent. I'm trying it out.
Oh,
But Josh,
that's
do you know
That's what I'm doing with the top of my head.
this
Trying it
is
out.
the most concerning thing. So I did the mustache today,
Yeah.
and I walk out, and Silas sees me and like stares at me shocked. And then you know what he says? He says,
What?
"Dad, you look like Spencer Strider." Like the Braves pitcher who we saw when we went down there. And I was like, Silas, what? How about like John Means, right? It looks like
Right,
John
right.
Means. And he gave me a who? Forgetting about John Means just because he's been on the shelf a little bit. But no, he kept on saying, yeah, you look just like Spencer Strider. And I'm concerned. This goes back to my fight of raising
being a Braves
kids in
fan.
Braves country, that when he sees a guy with the mustache, he immediately makes the connection to Spencer Strider. And it was because when we went, a couple weekends ago to Truist Park, and Spencer Strider, like that was the thing where fans were wearing mustaches and this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so of course that's where I got it from. But that was concerning.
Yeah.
And then I had a Go
taking
ahead.
them some Norfolk games, all the guys in the bullpen have mustaches.
Yeah, it's mustache. And then I don't know if you can see it on here, but I had a softball game today and I had a nasty shot. This never happened to me before, Josh. I got a shot in the eye. I got hit with a softball in the face.
Oh,
and I
that
got
sucks. I have not
cut
had
above
that,
my eye.
thankfully.
It was one of those things, a line drive right at my face, and it was a hard hit ball, and I had my glove up, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if the ball was moving or if like I was moving my glove too fast because I was already thinking there was a run on second who was leading off, and I was going to turn a double play, but the ball skipped off my glove, hit me right in the face, and I got a nice little cut above my eye. So my just adventures with softball down here in Georgia continue.
It's AJ says that you look like Drew Rom, but probably more like Dan Connolly.
That's all right. I'll
Hey,
start rating Star Spangled Banners here.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, all the ones at Atlanta were Fs. All right, but that softball to the face, you got to be careful with that. I was in a game a couple weeks ago, and on the other field, an ambulance had to come, and it was because of that exact same thing. Guy playing shortstop, line drive came at him, and he put his glove up, but the ball moved a little bit and got him right in the face and broke his nose.
Yeah. I mean, they just hit the ball so hard. I don't know. You're playing against a bunch of kids, a bunch of college kids who clearly played baseball in college.
Yeah.
Like this,
well, and
it's just everyone crushes the ball. It's just wild.
Down south is definitely different. It's definitely different. I've adjusted.
And I picked the ball up and I threw the guy out at second. I still got the out.
Good job.
But then I had to come out of the game because it was just bleeding profusely.
Oh, that sucks. Good job. Good job making the play work, though.
Yep, still got the out.
I'm telling you, I'm starting to hit the ball harder. I don't know why. I don't know if it's playing year-round ball now, but I'm hitting the ball harder than I did years ago, even though I'm older. So I think
you going to try for the Orioles?
Something to do with it. Not there. I don't think I can hit a baseball. I can hit a little bit softball.
Also, one more comment in my kind of fighting to keep Silas to be an Orioles fan.
Yeah.
We got a gift this week, or I guess the end of last week.
Oh no!
A gift from the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. This is your TikTok. You shared on TikTok. Silas doing the sprinkler and the faucet celebrations at Little League. So the
Yep.
Orioles reached out to you.
So Orioles reached out to me and said, "Hey, we saw Silas doing the celebration. We want to send him a gift." I said, "I appreciate it," and I gave him the address and then sent a gift and they sent him.
All right, here we go. How cheap are the Orioles?
Well, no, Josh, this is a thoughtful gift. They didn't have to give it all.
I once wrote a really nice letter to Steve Jobs about how the iPhone really affected my life and changed like this thing when Brooke was born and stuff. And you know what he mailed me?
What?
A car charger for my phone.
Car charger?
Yeah, a $20 cord. So there's my experience. Now let's see what the Orioles did for you.
They sent an Orioles cap.
Okay.
And about 20 stickers.
Oh, do I have sound effects on here?
No, I mean, I had no expectations. Silas had no expectations. He wasn't even expecting it.
All right.
And so he was, and I should add this, a personal note.
Autographed Oriole bird?
No, a personal note from an Oriole staff member saying thanks for doing the celebration and we wish you the best of luck on your T-ball season.
By staff member, you mean Mike Elias or Brandon Hyde or Cedric Mullins?
No, there was no personalization. Josh, I don't think they get Cedric Mullins involved in every gift they sent out to fans. I just thought it was nice that they even thought about that.
All right. Was Silas excited?
He was very excited. He wears the hat all the time now.
Okay, good. Is it a nice hat or is it a leftover dugout club hat?
No, it's just like the one I'm wearing, except it's kid size.
Kid size. All right, good.
It's a good hat.
All right.
And it was like not just little stickers, it was the big stickers, like this symbol, and another one, like big old stickers.
All right.
Yeah, it's fine. It was good.
All right. AJ must have been drinking all through the Oriole game because he's asking if they'll do the bird bath in section 336 to honor us.
Well, they should. It's an outrage if they don't.
Right.
AJ, it's outrageous if they don't. They absolutely should.
No, we'll let RDT take the credit for it. It's fine.
Yeah, when they start doing a bird bath in 336 and RDT takes credit for that, oh, it's going to be on then. Podcast Wars back on.
Do you think any hoses reach up to 336?
Yeah, you need to.
They'll have to wear like those backpack hoses.
Yeah, you need to just like bring in buckets of water yourself or something. I don't know. Provide your own water.
I don't know. I'd like to see a bunch of Homer hoses get up in section 336. We'll do that.
Oh, yeah, we can absolutely do that. We actually get the Homer hoses up there. But all right, ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I think I don't know what we covered tonight, but I think we covered some Oriole talk.
Yeah, we got some Ohtani talk. We got some Orioles talk in there.
We're all still positive about the Orioles. Even doing this right after a loss. We're positive.
We're coming off back-to-back series wins, and we'll see. We'll see where we are in a week and the week after that because May still hasn't gotten easier. I know we gotten through the Braves and the Pirates and the Rays, but we still got a bunch of tough teams in there. So we'll see.
Yep. All right, let's get out of here. Go check out birdlandsports.com. I put up a new Brian Baker shirt this weekend with him doing the moonwalk. And I've got some Mr. Splash stuff coming out this week.
Josh, do you think they should have, I saw a bunch of people talking about this, cameos for Mr. Splash? Like they should get former players and other
best
important
idea
people?
I ever heard. Yes. Yes, but they need Mr. Splash to be like, yeah, totally. I want to see Jay Gibbons out there as Mr. Splash.
Yeah, see, I think that's your answer for like, you said you should only do it on weekends. I think weekends they should bring the special guests.
Yeah, weekends. I totally agree with special. Make it special. Like, I want to see Brian Roberts out there as Mr. Splash. Adam Jones as Mr. Splash.
Yeah.
Yes, totally bring guys back for because it's about the fans. And the fans are having fun with it. The team's having fun with it. So, and it's gotten – the other thing that it's done good for Orioles is it got them national exposure. Yeah, AJ's correct. Dempsey is perfect to come out for Mr. Splash.
Yeah. I bet you get Marlon Humphrey to do it.
Yeah. Can you get Lamar out there? Or will Lamar just make it out himself?
Maybe if you pay him enough
Too
guaranteed
soon?
money.
Not too soon.
Pay him enough guaranteed money
Can
for
I
it.
ask why Lamar hasn't thrown out the first pitch yet? He should have, as soon as they signed, he should have thrown out the first pitch.
He should throw out every first pitch as far as I'm involved.
Yeah.
Hey, if we make the playoffs, though, do you know who has to do the splash zone if we make the playoffs? First playoff game. Who you put in the splash zone?
For the first playoff game?
Yeah.
Buck Showalter. No, he'll be busy in the playoffs.
He'll be busy in the playoffs, probably, hopefully.
First splash zone, Peter Angelos.
No, I'm thinking your boy, Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps is a great Mr. Splash.
Yeah, but you have to save him. You have to save him for the playoffs. He's not a regular
Yeah.
season Mr.
Yeah,
Splash
no, you
guy.
save him for the playoffs. I do.
You go out there
Yeah,
with his Speedo and goggles on. Let's go.
Yeah, that's great. Celebrity Mr. Splashes is a great idea.
Yeah, we could go all day with who could get on there.
But it's got to be people related to the Orioles. You're not going to bring in
or related to Baltimore.
Yeah, or Baltimore. Don't bring musicians in, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, unless they have Baltimore connections.
Yeah. Right. Unless you're known for being in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Don't just because you're performing a concert for John Angelos, Andy Grammer now suddenly doesn't also get to be Mr. Splash.
Yeah, some random country singer.
Shaq comes in to do a little DJ thing. So I'd like to see Shaq as Mr. Splash. I could see that one.
No, I'd be good with that.
I'd be good with that. I know he's got no ties to Baltimore, but Shaq gets my approval.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, interrupted you. Yeah, you can get your Splish Splash T-shirts coming soon.
Yeah, and
Homer
hoses.
Sports.
Plenty of Homer hoses available.
All right. Which are good either in the home or at the stadium. We use here ours at the home. You can use.
I advise you. They're the perfect size to get into the stadium. They're also the perfect size for Little League, but I advise you not to use them for Little League. Parents don't seem to really like that.
Yeah, they're well, especially in Florida, maybe they really don't understand it.
No, they don't. They don't.
No, and you could, just follow that on Birdland Sports. You can follow me on Twitter at Section336. You can also follow Josh on Twitter
at Josh Soroka and at Birdland Sports.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.